Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you an empties video, and believe me, it is far overdue, this empties video. I have not done one since I think October of last year. So yeah, we have a lot of catching up to do. I have been collecting my empties in this absolutely massive box. You can see it's huge. And it is full to the brim now. I'm not sure that we're gonna get through everything, but I do have my beauty empties from all of last October onwards. We're not gonna be talking about makeup today because my makeup empties, I did end up actually recycling at the end of last year, and then I only have a handful of things so far for this year. So I am just gonna be chatting through more so like hair care, body care, skin care, that kind of stuff. And I assume this is gonna be quite a long, lengthy video. So let's just hop right on into it. So it looks like I have multiples of these used up. This is the Crate 61 Eucamint bar soap. Collectively, this is 5 empties because this one is a 3-pack. Currently, the third one from this pack is in my shower, I believe. But either way, I've used up 4 or 5 of these in the last 6 months or so. This is just the standard bar soap that we use in this household. We keep going back to it because the Eucamint smells very fresh, but also kind of spa-like and relaxing while also being invigorating. Does that make sense? We typically go back to this because the scent is really nice, but also I really like this just simple packaging. It's just cardboard, no plastic component whatsoever in here. And it just smells so great. It's very accessible. I get it at my local superstore, but you can get it at like Loblaws and Zehrs as well. I know like any Loblaws owned kind of grocery store, I think you can usually get it at. The 3-packs sometimes are available at Winners, and also they're available on well.ca. If you're a Canadian, these are super easy to get your hands on and they're not that expensive. Definitely something that we just continually repurchase. Another thing that we repurchase in this household, and I have 2 different empties of as well, is the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. I have the tub here, which is the 6.0 ounce, and I also have the 8 ounce tube, which I did cut into and use up every last little bit. My fiance Patrick and I, we both use this pretty much on the daily, sometimes on our hands, mostly on our faces. We both have quite sensitive skin, different skin issues. I have much more acne prone, kind of combination skin. I also have a fragrance allergy, and Patrick is prone to kind of dry patches on his skin, and this works for both of us impeccably well all year round. It never feels too heavy, but it is definitely hydrating on the skin. And yeah, we both just really enjoy it. It's a bit of a workhorse in this household, something that we go back to constantly because we've kind of strayed to other moisturizers and never found them to be quite as effective as this. So this is just the go-to nowadays. We don't really stray from this at all anymore. This is actually a moisturizer that we tried to use kind of in place of the First Aid Beauty, but it ended up taking like 2 full years, maybe even almost close to 3 years to get through this because we just kept going back to the First Aid Beauty. This is the Malin and Goetz Vitamin E Face Moisturizer. This was nice. It really did feel like it sunk into the skin very quickly, and it didn't provide that like long-term moisture. I did get this in PR actually through Influencer many years ago. I think it was in 2020, but I could be mistaken. It may have been in 2021. Either way, honestly, had this far too long, but I did use up every last bit of it over the last couple years. So I generally preferred to use this underneath of makeup because it didn't leave that super like hydrated, heavy kind of feeling on the skin, but I didn't find it to be quite enough for me for the nighttime or to use like on my hands or other places on my body, because First Aid Beauty is just a product that works everywhere and for everything, no matter what. This was something that I definitely felt like I had more of a single purpose for underneath of makeup in the evening time. It was really nice. Like if I was going out at night, instead of putting on sunscreen underneath my foundation, I would just put this on, and it was really good for that. So it did have its use, but it wasn't something that I feel compelled to repurchase, and I don't really feel like it's an essential in my personal routine. This is a product that I truly enjoyed, but I recently looked this up and I did not realize it was so freaking expensive. So unfortunately I won't be repurchasing it because I did actually get this in PR and I really did find it to be a beautiful product. This is the Somerville DeliKate Recovery Serum. It's a stressed skin saver. Now, I would never say that I used this when my skin was having major irritation or anything like that. I definitely tended to use this when my skin was already more calm. I try to keep things very simple when my skin is maybe acting up, whether it be like an allergy or something like that. I just use only the First Aid Beauty Moisturizer in those instances. I do not use anything else on my skin other than cleanser. But for this product in particular, I just found that it left my skin feeling very hydrated, very moisturized, very balanced, and it just felt really nice on the skin. I loved using this in the evening time for a little bit more of a plump kind of look when I woke up in the morning, and I just found this to be a really beautiful product underneath of moisturizer. It was really nice, but yeah, the price, man, I can't do it. I did like that this is in a glass package, and I actually recently finished up 2 different Derma E serums. I typically use serums underneath of my sunscreen, and then I just kind of use that as my base for makeup or just for my daytime skincare in general. Currently, I don't have any serum type products actually in my collection, but these 2 were great for that kind of purpose, to offer a little bit of hydration to the skin before I went in with my sunscreen. They were just great. They sunk into the skin perfectly. The first one is the Derma E Vitamin C Concentrated Serum. This has hyaluronic acid in it as well. And then this one was the Skin De-Stress Calming CBD Serum. This was really nice. They both were really good, and I did receive these both in PR from Derma E a while back and slowly worked my way through them. I kind of used them off and on, kind of one day I'd reach for this one, the next day I'd reach for this one. Just whatever I was feeling that day, whatever was closest to me, to be honest. They always sit really nice on the skin underneath of sunscreen and underneath of makeup. They sink into the skin really well. I've gone through a variety of different variations of the serums from Derma E, and I gotta say, across the board, they really all just seem to work really well. Sit on the skin really well, but I'm not going to be picking up either of these. I recently finished up this sunscreen from Somerville. This I also did receive in PR. This is the mineral sunscreen, and it is the Daily Deflector is what it's called. It is a broad spectrum SPF 40 PA+++++. This was a mineral sunscreen, and it did leave a slight kind of purplish white gray kind of cast on the skin initially, but it would warm up to the skin and look relatively neutral on my skin tone. Now, I am quite fair at this time of year, so I'm not really sure that I'm the best to discuss what a white cast really could look like on others who are more tan or deeper skin than myself. But I did experience a tiny little bit of that, and that is something that I tend to notice with a lot of different mineral sunscreens. That's pretty standard across the board, but this did sit really nicely underneath of makeup. It didn't really feel that like chalky or, you know, that really dry kind of feeling that a lot of mineral sunscreens can, but I'm not going to be repurchasing this. I do have the Supergoop Play sunscreen, which I just love because it is a chemical sunscreen, so it's very different from this, but it just looks totally clear on the skin. There is no white cast whatsoever, and that's just something that I really want out of a sunscreen. I just don't want a white cast whatsoever. I like things to just look like skin. And then I also have the Attitude, it's like a tinted one, and that's what I've been wearing on the day-to-day recently, and I do prefer it a little bit more. I think this one is a mineral sunscreen though. Yes, this one's a mineral sunscreen. This is the Attitude one that I've been using. But it has this like blushy kind of tone to it that goes perfectly on my skin personally. I don't know how it would look on deeper skins. Last year when I had this in the summer and I had more of a tan, it still worked into my skin impeccably, and it did not look that light and didn't even look tinted whatsoever on my complexion in the summer. This is the one that I've been using recently, and I do tend to prefer this one over the Somerville. And another product that I finished in my non-makeup project pan is this Versed Baby Cheeks All-in-One Hydrating Milk. I really came to enjoy this, but looking back, I did fly through this very quickly. I was trying to put it to the test and see all the different ways that I could use this because as it says, it's an all-in-one hydrating milk. But in 4 months in that project pan, I was able to use up the vast majority of the product. I was very motivated to do so because I had already had this open for quite some time. And like I said, I was curious to kind of see the potential of this product. So maybe if I were to repurchase it, I wouldn't use it in quite a quick kind of turnaround. It was more so experimental, but also I was motivated by the amount of time that I had it. Does that make any sense? Are you keeping with me in this explanation? Either way, this product was truly multi-purpose. I used it to remove makeup or like clean up eyeshadow, fallout, whatever. I would use it to tone as well. So after I would cleanse my skin, take off my makeup at night, I'd use it to kind of use as a toner before moisturizing. It was great for that. I used this sometimes in the morning time in place of a cleanser as well, because usually I don't use a cleanser in the morning. I simply just rinse my face with water, but some days I literally just went in with this. Some days when I clean my face, you know, you end up with a little bit of that mascara still built up at the bottom of your lashes or kind of ring around your lower lash line. I would use it to clean that up before finishing off my skincare for the night. So it truly was a great multi-purpose kind of product. Yeah, I did really enjoy it. I did receive this in PR and was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but once I started really putting it to the test and figuring this product out, I flew through it because it was something that I could just reach for all the time in so many different ways. This cleanser, I've had this for so long and I finally finished it off very recently. I remember I bought this in 2019, okay? That is so long to have a cleanser. But it just didn't do anything for me. That's it. That's the whole statement. This is the Andalou Naturals Apricot Probiotic Cleansing Milk. Now that, I guess, is probably in part why I was not into it. I don't really like cleansing milks. I don't like things that don't really offer a little bit of suds, that don't really feel like they are pulling product off of the skin. This almost just felt like I was using a lotion on my face in the shower, and it didn't feel like it ever picked up anything off of my skin. This was something that I just kept in the shower, and on occasion I'd be like, shit, I should use that. I should just reach for it because I couldn't seem to throw it out. And I would just kind of like use it on my neck, my shoulders, and I would just use it in that way. I reached for it very, very infrequently and did not enjoy it. I also did not like the scent of this. It doesn't smell like apricot to me. It just smells, I don't know. It's off-putting. On the other hand, I work through this specific cleanser all the time. This is my tried and true favorite standard cleanser. This is just the one that I always go back to. I'm almost done another tube of this and I have a backup already that thankfully I did receive in PR from Pacifica. This is the Kale Detox Deep Cleaning Face Wash. This is amazing and it does say that it's technically for oily and blemish prone skin. Personally, I have more normal combination skin and I still just love this. I used to love it when I had more oily skin, when I had a lot of active acne. I loved this, but nowadays I love it just as much, even though my skin is the polar opposite of what it used to be. It's just such a good cleanser. It always works. If I have a little bit of makeup kind of left over after doing my first cleanse, this pulls it all off. I can really feel my skin being cleaned with this, but it doesn't feel stripped. It doesn't feel parched. It doesn't feel like all of my natural oils have been just like removed from my skin. My skin still feels balanced after I remove this from my face. It gets like really good suds though, that just feels like everything is just coming off. And I just go back to it all the time because I know it works. I don't even know how many of these I've gone through over the years. Pretty sure I've been talking about this product since I started my channel 6 years ago, and I don't foresee myself changing that at all. If you've been keeping up with my empties videos, you may remember that I've been kind of on a journey to find the right bar shampoo as opposed to using more traditional liquid shampoos that come in plastic packaging. I've been trying to reduce my plastic use in that kind of avenue. So it's been quite a journey for me, and I have recently finished off 2 bar shampoos. These were actually both really good, but yeah, let's chat about them. So the first one I have here is the shampoo bar from Mountain Sky. This is the Citrus Dazzle one, which is for oily hair. I do have very oily hair. I have to clean my hair every single day. Every other day I can kind of push it to sometimes, but I prefer to just keep it washed every single day because my scalp can get very, very oily and my hair looks very limp. And that is in part one of the reasons why I want to find a shampoo that's lower waste, because I just go through it so much with the way that I clean my hair. So this shampoo bar was one that was really nice. It did get a really good lather going, so you could use the lather to kind of work into the scalp, and it did feel like it left the scalp very clean, my hair very clean. It didn't feel dry. It didn't feel like there was too many oils in my hair either, because you can kind of get both of those scenarios with bar shampoo. But this just felt like my hair was, you know, not overly nourished, but not stripped either. So it was just a really good neutral kind of feeling shampoo. However, when this got down to relatively small, it was very prone to breakage, and it just kept breaking no matter what. And it was really hard to keep shape so that I could actually use it. So I think the last maybe quarter or fifth of the bar shampoo, we ended up just breaking it up and not really actually being able to use it to its fullest capacity. So that for me is a little bit of a drawback, because it wasn't usable to the last bit, you know. It just is something that ended up kind of falling apart, and you'd end up wasting so much. You drop it, it would just crumble. It just was not that easy to use. And then this other bar shampoo is one that I actually have repurchased, so you know that it's one that I really do enjoy. This was the Notice Hair Co. This is the Stimulator shampoo bar. This one is so good. It offers a lather that feels very comparable to any other liquid shampoo. It really did suds up. It was so impressive how much it suds up. Like, I was honestly really surprised by this. It leaves my scalp and hair feeling very clean, not stripped whatsoever, even though this is for oily and fine hair, but that is truly what my hair is. Like, that is without a doubt what hair type I have, oily and fine. And this had a really nice kind of spa-like scent. I don't know if I mentioned, but this one was orangey, and I did like the smell of this, but it kind of smelled more to me like it should be a body wash. And then this one definitely just smelled like a really relaxing kind of spa kind of scenario. I really did enjoy this so much. I did repurchase it because it just is so good. And when we got down to it being a very small bar, it didn't just crumble apart. It actually just continues to lather. It keeps its shape very well. It is so good for that very reason. That is why I repurchased it, because with so many other bar shampoos, what I ended up doing is feeling like I just wasted the last little bit of it, because it would just break. Every time you tried to use it, it would just fall apart. But this held its shape more like what bar soaps do. They keep their shape until they're just the tiny little sliver, and that's what this does. And I love it for that. This is so good. This is another product that, if you have seen my Empties videos over the years, you may remember that I had been purchasing this so frequently a few years back. This is the Sleepy Body Lotion from Lush. It is a tried and true favorite of mine as well. I don't currently have one of these on hand, but I am truly missing it. I love this scent so much at bedtime. This is a lavender and, what is it? Lavender and tonka, I think the smell is. Yes, lavender and tonka. And what I would do before bed is I would just put this on my hands, on my arms. I really like to have moisturized hands before I go to bed. And this scent is just so dreamy. It is so soothing and calming. It is really quite an experience when it comes to using this product. I would sometimes use it from head to toe because I do shower or bath at night before bedtime. And so sometimes I'll use it that way, but generally speaking, it just lives on my bedside table, and I'll just put it on my hands before I drift off to sleep. And it is truly such a great experience. I love this so much. It's very rich on the hands, Very, very rich and moisturizing, and it's just a beautiful product. I definitely want to purchase this again soon. I just don't have a Lush near me, and I don't often buy this kind of stuff online, but I think I could. I think you could purchase this from Lush online. I just haven't done that. Definitely is something that I will repurchase again though, because it is just so good, so good. I have a couple of eye creams that I've recently finished off, but to be honest with you, eye cream is something that I'm just not super fussy about. The first one is the Derma E Hydrating Eye Cream. I have gone through many of these because I just know it works. I know it works. So I have purchased it time and time and time again, and I likely will end up repurchasing it again in the future because this is something that's very accessible. Where I live, at least, I can find it at the grocery store, but it's just something that I don't have currently on hand, or I haven't repurchased again because I have quite a few other eye creams to kind of work my way through. But yeah, this is really good, very hydrating, great for daytime, underneath of concealers, underneath of makeup, but great for nighttime. It does the trick just fine to hydrate the under eye area. I'm not really looking for something that's going to like fix my under eye bags because I know that's just not possible. I just like a little bit of extra hydration underneath my eyes because I do have some dryness here and in this inner portion here. So I just like to have a little bit more of a hydrated eye area, and the same thing was done with this as well. What am I saying? This is the Burst Vacation Eyes Brightening Eye Gel. This I prefer definitely underneath of makeup because it was a gel consistency, so it didn't really feel like it sunk into the skin and moisturized and hydrated as long-term as the Derma E one did. But this was great underneath of makeup because it didn't feel heavy. It didn't really make makeup kind of move around. It didn't change the consistency of my makeup. It did sink into the skin and feel really good under the eyes. It just wasn't that like long-term surge of moisture, but I did enjoy it. I did receive this NPR from Burst a while back, and it took me a long time to work through this. Eye creams seem to take quite a while for me to work through because you really don't need that much. It's just like a tiny, tiny little area there. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around. I feel like I'm all over the place in today's video because I'm trying to be prompt. I'm trying to be quick with these, but I'm also trying to be thorough. And I haven't quite perfected how to do that yet. I don't think I ever will. I'm a rambler, as I'm doing right now. Inky List product. I did receive this one in PR a while back as well. This is the hyaluronic acid, and I liked this. I liked this quite a lot. I've now used different hyaluronic acids from different brands. I've tried the one from The Ordinary, Derma E, and the Inky List, and I kind of feel like they all do the same thing. They all sit on the skin really similarly. The one from The Ordinary is a lot more sticky than the other ones, but across the board, they all kind of feel like they do the same thing. And I like hyaluronic acid a lot as a regular part of my skincare routine. I do feel like it really does offer a lot of hydration. My skin does look visibly more plump when I use hyaluronic acid on a regular basis during the evening time underneath of a moisturizer. And so yeah, this is something that I did really enjoy. I do feel like this one in particular though, I went through quite quickly. It was a little bit of a thinner kind of formula than the other ones, but it did the job just fine, and I really did enjoy it, and I probably would pick it up again because it's so affordable and it works. I have 4 different lip balm type products that I've worked through recently. 4. And I am kind of amazed by this, to be honest. So the first one I have here is from Crate 61. This is the organic lip balm. This is the coconut version. I picked this up because somebody had recommended this lip balm formula because I always go on and on about the bar soap. Gotta say, I don't love this as much as I was hoping to. It felt nice on the lips. It did offer hydration, but it didn't really feel like it sunk into my lips. It didn't really feel like it was like a prolonged kind of moisturizer. And for that reason, I won't be picking this up again. I like something that really feels like it like works into the lips and offers like a long-term plump and hydration. This also did not do that for me. This is the Catrice Lip Coconut Balm. This one just kind of sat on the surface. It did make my lips feel sufficiently moisturized from the exterior, but it didn't really like work into the lips and like offer long-term hydration either. It's something that also left this like white cast. It just was not cute for my personal preferences. I like something that is clear or maybe tinted, but tinted in a like natural lip color kind of way. This was just not a favorite. I did use this in my non-makeup project pan and I'm happy I worked through it, but definitely not a repurchase if it's even available anymore. And then I worked through this, which this was a feat to use up because it's not technically just a lip balm. It's like an all-in-one kind of like multi-purpose balm. This is the Cocoa Kind My Matcha, and this is an all-over moisture stick. And as you can see, I dug into it and used every last little bit. And I did quite like this. This was a kind of yellowy green kind of color, and it didn't translate to that on the skin at all. It just went on clear, even though it was a little like off-putting that this was green. I was like, ooh, maybe that's not gonna work out well, but it was fine. It was totally fine on the lips and on the skin. Most often I use this just as a lip balm, but sometimes I would use it as an eye balm as well to lock in moisture. When I put on an eye cream, I would use this on top to kind of just like lock everything in as like a sealing kind of product. It would seal things in. I would also use this oftentimes on like my, you know, cuticles and nail beds and on my knuckles and any dry patches that I had on my skin as well. This was just a really good product for that. I used this up, I think, at the tail end of last year, and it had way surpassed the expiration date, which was last June. But I didn't notice any sort of change in this product, which was good. And I found this to just always be a great product, no matter what I was reaching for it to use it for. I just always found that it worked for me, and that was perfect. That's really what you want out of a product. That's really what you want. You just want it to work. And lastly, for lip products, I have this Kapari Lip Glossy. You know, this is something that I repurchase almost habitually, but this is not available at Sephora anymore. Where did Kapari go? Where can you get Kapari in Canada? Is there anywhere you can get it? I don't know. I'm so heartbroken about this because I love the Lip Glossy so much. It offers a sheen on the lips that just looks like a lightweight lip gloss. It feels so nourishing on the lips. It feels so smooth. It did sink in and offer a little bit more long-term hydration as well. It just is such a beautiful product. I've worked my way through many of these and loved every single moment of using them up, and I'm missing it in my collection right now, although I do have several other lip balms that I kind of have on rotation. I do miss this. I want to get this again, and I don't know where to buy it anymore. Okay. This one is a little kind of just trial size of the Pinrose Sunsaint fragrance. This one was coconut, sea salt, and lime. And if you know anything about my fragrance preferences, that is just divine to me. This is just perfection. Coconut and lime, anything that's like vanilla, coconut, lime, yeah, those are like my top tier fragrance preferences. They just are warm and fresh and just delicious. And this was no different. I loved this fragrance so much. This was a great summertime fragrance. Sunsaint to me was something that just felt very grown up and mature without being like a floral old lady kind of scent, like mature, like grown up and sophisticated and sexy, very complex kind of smell in my opinion, but it was something that was just very compelling to me. I really enjoy this fragrance. I probably will one day pick up a full size of it, but as you can see, I have quite a fragrance collection for me personally that's more than enough. But one day I think I might end up actually picking up a full size of this because I love it in the summertime. And then I finished off this Derma E Vitamin C Instant Radiance Citrus Facial Peel. This is a product that was a face mask that you just kind of put on for a few minutes and then you wash it off. It doesn't like dry down like a clay mask does. It had a really weird texture to it. It was kind of like a lumpy kind of pudding sort of texture. So that was something that I did not thoroughly enjoy, but overall, when I did use this consistently, when I moved it into my non-makeup project pan, I ended up really coming to enjoy it, feeling like it left my skin looking a lot more radiant, a lot more fresh after I used it a lot more on a regular basis. And yeah, I did like the way it felt on my skin, the way it left my skin looking and feeling after washing it off as well was really nice. But I'm just going away from face masks, things that, you just kind of put onto your skin and then wash off after a few minutes. That's just not really something that I feel like is a necessity in my routine anymore. I really just want to use like serums and moisturizer and maybe some sort of like oil to kind of treat my skin longer term than a face mask can offer. So yeah, it's not something I'm going to be purchasing. I did receive this in PR. I did not pick it out for myself, but I couldn't just pass it off. I was curious to try it. And with all of that being said, the Empties extravaganza has come to an end. We have finally talked about all of the products that I've been keeping around for months and months and months. I'm so happy that I can finally go and purge these things. I learned fairly recently that my local Walmart has a TerraCycle kind of recycling station for skincare and makeup. And I highly recommend that if you have a Walmart near you and you live in Canada, that you go and check it out. It was close to the customer service desk, and you can put as many products as you want in there. It's great. Many of these things will be going to there to get recycled. And yeah, that, my friends, is everything. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me. And hopefully my next empties video is in like 2 months time, not like 6 months time, but that's it. That's everything. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.